occasionally forces any player that is jumping, flipping, or flying to force them to the ground.
Okay. That
I
yeah,
don't know why,
that makes
but
sense.
there you go.
It's good for the game. It's so
And then
stupid. You can just jump over the enemies like they can't hit you, so you don't have to get good in the game. It's so casual.
trigger finger occasionally is buffed to punish the Trovians who deal damage to the boss.
Are these things like the random effects in the delves?
Yeah.
Okay, sad. So
There
it's
are
not some
random effects
trolls.
in the delves that can happen.
Yeah, okay, now it makes sense, yeah. Okay. Sad. So what was the trigger finger?
Trigger finger is, you know, when you're fighting the big boss at the end, it can just instantly punish you, so you take damage from it. Even if the boss isn't attacking you, you still take damage.
Yeah, so they have thorns. You damage enemy, it damages you. No matter how, is it hitting or shooting you. Yeah, I understand the logic. Okay. Got some new challenges.
The other thing is, from looks on it, you know how the deeper you go in the delves, the stronger they get. That will also affect the bonus stats as well.
Yeah, okay. So new challenges to the deep delves.
For like additional, if you go to Uber, well, it don't say Uber, it says 490 players will take additional damage to Uber 9. So that means you will be constantly taking increased damage. So if you've got like 1/4 health, one shot you're dead.
So do we need tanks?
So that means that all this new buffs and nerfs and all this is gonna be trying to make people use different characters as groups.
In a team. Yeah, everyone has their own purpose, and you need multiple different characters to build a team that is viable. Yeah, sounds cool. Hopefully it succeeds, because I think it makes good for the game. It's good for the community and the game. Yeah.
I like it because it also means what they've done is, as they've also said in this, you know, in the delves, the deeper in the delves you go, the higher tier stuff you can find. So in the geode cave where you can go down to tier 5, you can find tier 5 stuff in the delves now.
Yeah. So the reward for doing deep delves is not just leaderboards rank, it's you actually get better loot. So there is a motivation.
So it can also help you out in the geode caves without you having to go in the geode caves and spend like 20 minutes looking for one item.
Yeah, that's smart.
So it's like you're killing two birds with one stone.
Why does this update sound so wonderful?
Enticing.
Where do they get all these ideas? Do they actually have a team that cares about the game? I thought that when Trion sold Trove to Gamiko, they would let's just kill the game. But they are actually reworking the game on a whole new level.
The other little bit of information that I know is this part here, which is set some old event items to decay away when their events are over. The Delve Gateway, Wolves Den, Delve Gateway, Trotting Turkey, Delve's Gateway, Turkeytopia, and the Snowfest 2021 tokens should now disappear from inventories on May the 1st, 2022. Additionally, any remaining Delve gateways cannot be deconstructed, which means that because of that glitched ring incident, they're now making it to a point where you cannot deconstruct anything to get it back.
Yeah, just like the banners. Yeah, it just disappears. Yeah, I found out this. This update is affecting the game already. Yes. I still have some Turkeytopia portals, so I should maybe use them.
They're also adding more recipes to Cursed Veil workbench, Shadow's Eve workbench.
And they give mastery?
I think so. With them being recipes, I think they will.
Yeah, otherwise it's only the club.
Not only that, they're also fixing a client crash. So, a client crash that could occur when a player is entering club worlds as rallies or heroes are updating, or entering a club world in general. They're fixing that issue.
It's very dangerous to crash in club worlds, because when you try to join back in the game, it crashes you even more. You cannot load up to the club world where you crashed. So never end your game in club world. Always go to the hub.
Several Delve bosses that were giving knockback are being fixed. They shouldn't give knockback.
Yeah, knockback is only helping us to avoid the enemies, so it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
On top of that, several Delve bosses should no longer be affected by knockback, which means sometimes when you're shooting a boss with the gunslinger, you were able to push it against the wall. Now that's not going to be an issue, because it's not going to get affected.
Yeah, okay. Like some quality of life updates to the game. Sounds very good.
Oh yeah. On top of that, here's one thing that's really going to fuck a lot of people off.
Okay.
Area of effect abilities are now capped on the number of enemies they can hit. The intent of this change is to limit the number of AoEs that hit other enemies. We will continue to fine-tune it so that this change, if it affects normal gameplay, on an as-needed basis. So whereas you could just gather up as many enemies as you want and just couple shots, everything's gone, that ain't gonna work no more.
Yeah, and it's made so just for the delves, so it's not that castle and easy.
That fucking Ice Age shit where you're flying through and you just pull everything together and then explode it all. Bye bye.
Yeah, sounds legit. Sounds good. Makes sense. Good update. And of course, these new updates, they hit PC like multiple months before PlayStation.
Yep. They did a live test server. Where are you?
Already?
They did a test server. Where is it? Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. 2 months ago.
Yeah, okay. So...
But when they did that test server, they also found out that in that test, the Shadowhunter's class ability was broken.
Yeah, so they nerfed it. That's what I heard.
The gem mob was broke.
What?
The guy that was doing it, he was hitting 13 mil with Shadowhunter with the gem mod.
Aha,
He took the gem mod off, and he was hitting 19 mil.
Yeah. Okay.
So they have to fix that. On top of that, the L1 that everyone used to think was so shit for the Shadowhunter,
yeah,
that's being turned into Seeker missiles.
What? An homing missile?
So, yeah, it targets any nearby enemy.
It's like a swarm of projectiles, or one projectile?
5.
Yeah, okay. Same.
5 projectiles, and on top of that, the number of projectiles depends on the amount of damage you do. If you have 5, you do the maximum damage, and it decreases.
Yeah.
For each one you haven't got. Another thing, you know the L2 for the Shadowhunter? Where you can hold it or you can
shots.
just press?
Yeah.
Now it's going to be like a laser beam.
What?
So if you hold it, it will rapidly fire it for the amount of energy you have.
So you can use all your energy at once?
If you press and hold L2, you charge your shot, but if you have the class gem mod, your basic attack that's like a minigun, your L2 is going to be doing that. And when you run out of energy, you then go back to your basic until it recharges, then you do it again.
Yeah, okay.
The other little bit of information for the Shadowhunter, which is basically my main class, is the Snare, the trap. When it detonates, it deals additional damage, it stuns nearby enemies, and now it will have the same effect as your passive, which means you will apply a shadow mark to targets, meaning you deal increased damage.
That is an hella rework to the class. It's like very different character.
On top of that, the hidden effect on crystal rings, which is your tactical shot for the Shadowhunter, has now been replaced by tactical seekers. When enemies take damage from the Shadowhunter's sacred arrow, a Shadow Seeker will fire from the Shadowhunter and attack the closest target. Which means any time that an enemy takes damage from the Shadowhunter, it's L2, it'll automatically fire a Seeker missile at a nearby enemy.
Bruh. You cycle your abilities to cycle your abilities even quicker.
Yep. And on top of that, the other thing is the gem attack, Shadow Blitz, the gem mod. Basic attack becomes a rapid stream of arrows. Has now been increased from 100% to 200%, additionally adding the ability to shoot through walls.
Why does it sound so overpowered? Mixi? Why?
And not only that, its basic attack is then also being increased. So all you need to do is add its class gem mod, and